Welcome to a new episode of the podcast. Vox Agent is made by AI for business executives that work with AI. Today, our mission is clear. We're launching a deep dive focused squarely on Google's Veo 3.1 model. This is the new state-of-the-art generative AI platform for hyper-realistic video, and we really need to understand exactly how this technological leap is going to fundamentally transform enterprise content strategy.
That's actually the critical takeaway for you listening. Veo 3.1 isn't just an incremental software update. For any business leader reliant on digital media, it's a foundational technology layer. It completely redefines the economics of production and actively challenges those traditional media pipelines.
Right.
And just to give you a sense of the commercial scale we're discussing, the global generative AI market, which platforms like this are driving, is projected to reach an estimated USD 356.1 billion by 2030.
Wow.
So this is really where the massive opportunity lies.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we dive into those commercial opportunities, let's get a handle on the tech itself. Many listening are familiar with earlier text-to-video models, or maybe rivals like OpenAI's Sora 2. What makes Veo 3.1 a genuine paradigm shift? What are the technical hurdles Google DeepMind has specifically cleared here?
Well, the primary shift, I'd say, is moving from novelty clips to actually production-ready fidelity. Veo 3.1 is engineered specifically for high-definition 1080p and, importantly, cinematic quality output. It's targeting professional standards, not just consumer fun.
Okay, but models like Sora 2 have also been promising that kind of seamless generation, that temporal coherence. What specific features or maybe control points show Veo 3.1 actually delivers on that promise more effectively? Is it really there yet?
Yeah, that's a fair question. I think the key is consistency over longer durations and integrated complexity. Let's look at the three major technical achievements. First, there's the breakthrough in temporal coherence. You touched on it. Earlier models struggled, really struggled, to maintain a subject's identity or the lighting or the setting over a longer sequence.
Things would just change randomly.
Exactly. Veo 3.1 generates coherent sequences up to a full minute now. And during that minute, the character doesn't suddenly change their jacket, the surroundings don't glitch frame to frame. It provides a much more reliable canvas for storytelling.
And that consistency is just, well, it's non-negotiable for any serious business application, right? Whether it's a training module or a brand narrative. And we also know that sound. Sound has always been the clunky afterthought needing complex external post-production.
Right. And that's where the second big breakthrough comes in, integrated audio. Veo 3.1 natively synthesizes coherent dialogue and perfectly synchronized sound effects directly from the text prompt.
Directly from the prompt.
Directly from the prompt. Think about the massive bottleneck that eliminates. No more having to manually, painstakingly marry the generated video to external audio tracks. It reduces post-production complexity by orders of magnitude.
Okay, that's huge. And the third breakthrough you mentioned is about agency. Moving beyond just a random visual generator to something a creative professional can actually steer. We're talking cinematic control.
Precisely. You're not just saying a cat sits on a roof. You can prompt for precise camera movements, like a dolly zoom, maybe in black and white, or specific visual styles, specific environmental conditions, like a foggy morning in London, lit by low winter light. This moves the tool from being just a suggestion box to more like a collaborator that executes a specific vision.
That level of precise control, it suggests a pretty complex engine under the hood. It's probably not just one system generating all that.
That's right. It uses a clever dual hybrid architecture. To make this clear for the executive audience, you can think of it this way. The system has a kind of creative director and then a highly efficient editor. So the transformer component acts like the creative director. It uses its language processing power to interpret the abstract concepts, the mood, the cinematic language, from your text prompt. That's the script, basically.
The editor part.
That's the latent diffusion model. So, guided by the transformer's direction, the diffusion model synthesizes the actual high-resolution video. But crucially, it does this in a compressed conceptual form, what we call the latent space. And that's its efficiency gain. It's essentially working with a high-level blueprint rather than having to process every single pixel repeatedly.
Ah, I see.
Which allows it to generate that 1080p video much faster and, importantly, more cost-effectively.
Okay, so that brings us neatly to the radical implication of this technical jump, the economics. Traditional video production is, let's face it, notoriously slow and budget-heavy. You need crews, locations, permits, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, absolutely. The contrast is Well, it's truly mind-boggling sometimes. Traditional professional video creation, say for corporate work or high-end marketing, typically costs between $800 and maybe $10,000 per finished minute.
Per minute.
Per minute, and that often takes weeks or even months to finalize.
So what does that landscape look like now with platforms like Veo 3.1 becoming accessible to organizations?
Well, now you're often looking at a subscription model, maybe less than $100 per month for access. Or perhaps project-based token pricing that's just a tiny fraction of those traditional labor costs. We're talking about potentially replacing the cost of a full week of location shooting and editing with the cost of a single monthly software subscription. It's a massive shift.
And it's not just cost, it's speed too, right?
Exactly. This cost shift is matched by a speed shift. AI-driven workflows can reduce project timelines by up to, say, 80%. That massive acceleration in content velocity, well, it provides market agility that was just unthinkable before.
And we aren't just talking hypotheticals here, are we? We have real-world metrics suggesting this technology is driving tangible ROI.
We do. There was a global study recently that confirmed 92% of organizations that have launched generative AI initiatives report their investments have already paid for themselves.
92%.
Yeah.
And for those specifically tracking the return on investment, the average return is clocking in at a remarkable 41%.
Yeah.
So this democratization of high-fidelity video production, it's demonstrably improving the bottom line.
And this speed, this efficiency, it isn't just about making one piece of content faster. It fundamentally changes marketing strategy itself. We're now talking about things like mass customization and A/B testing at a scale that honestly felt like science fiction just a couple of years ago.
Precisely. You can take one base concept for an ad, right, and instantly generate 50, maybe 100 hyper-personalized variants tailored to tiny demographic segments, different voiceovers, different lighting, different character types, and you can run tests in hours instead of months. This level of hyper-personalization, it drives conversion and engagement exponentially higher.
It's easy to maybe think this is only a big deal for Hollywood or the big ad agencies, but the data seems to show this is more of a horizontal platform, disrupting sectors far beyond traditional media and entertainment. What applications are we seeing pop up in less obvious business areas?
Oh, definitely. Look at corporate training and learning and development, for instance. They can now produce highly immersive interactive learning modules and simulations. Think complex machinery teardowns or realistic safety hazard scenarios, all at a fraction of the cost of building physical simulators or filming in high-risk environments.
Makes sense. And in e-commerce, the ability to move beyond just static product images must be massive.
Absolutely massive. They can generate dynamic product videos, maybe even virtual try-on experiences on demand. That kind of thing is crucial for modern conversion rates, especially online.
Right.
And even in the core film and production sector, professionals are already using tools like Veo for rapid pre-visualization, for concept art. It allows directors to test hundreds of creative choices before committing those huge budgets to physical shooting. It fundamentally de-risks the early creative process.
So this platform approach explains why we're seeing such high adoption rates, even in, let's say, non-creative parts of the business. Where else is this operational boost showing up?
It's really showing up everywhere. Early adoption rates show significant efficiency gains across IT operations, something like 70% adoption among early users there.
70% in IT.
Yeah, and 56% in customer support, 44% in marketing. It really proves this isn't just some niche tool for the creative department. It's being leveraged organization-wide as an operational tool to streamline complexity and accelerate output across the board.
Okay, so that brings us, I guess, neatly to the other side of the coin, the challenges. We have this radical efficiency, stunning realism, but significant strategic challenges and, well, necessary counterpoints remain. When we talk about implementing this at scale, where does the strategic friction tend to appear?
Yeah, there's definitely friction. It usually surfaces in three critical areas: change management, quality control, and governance. First, change management. Integrating AI like this into established workflows. It requires real strategic foresight and, critically, upskilling your people. Leadership has to manage the resistance, often from creative teams who, understandably, fear job displacement. The focus must be on framing AI as a collaborator that augments human talent, not simply a substitute for it.
And on the creative side itself, there's that deeper, more philosophical concern that leaders really can't afford to just dismiss the critique that this content can feel creatively, well, empty.
Yes, and you need to frame that internally as a significant brand risk. Think about it. If every company uses the same foundational models,
How do you prevent all your brand narratives, all your product ads, from looking and feeling identical to your competitors?
Good point. Generic realism.
Exactly. The worry among critics, and it's a valid one, is that while AI can master technical realism, it often lacks that unique vision, the emotional core, or the subtle originality that truly defines a great brand or story. The risk is brand dilution in a sea of hyper-realistic but ultimately generic content.
Then there's the often overlooked cost factor associated with running these incredibly powerful models, environmental impact.
Oh, absolutely. That's a major ESG concern for large enterprises now. We're not talking about running a laptop here. Training and running state-of-the-art video models like Veo 3.1 translates directly into immense energy consumption. The training process alone for some of these large models can consume the equivalent energy of powering small towns for weeks.
Wow.
So for corporations committed to sustainability targets, this computational demand requires proactive planning for green infrastructure and optimized resource use. It's not trivial.
Okay, let's pivot and look forward a bit. The technology is advancing so quickly. We're looking beyond Veo 3.1 now toward a future that seems to involve more interactivity, more autonomy. Where are the long-term trends really shaping this trajectory? Where is this heading?
Well, the trajectory seems to point toward two main things.
Yeah.
Moving computation closer to the user and shifting the interface toward goal-oriented instruction rather than detailed prompting. The first major trend is generative AI at the edge. By 2030, estimates suggest over 50 billion edge devices. Think your AR glasses, industrial IoT systems, maybe even your phone will be capable of processing data in real time.
Right, so the personalized video content wouldn't always need to be rendered way off in the cloud and then streamed back. It could be generated instantly and locally on the device itself.
Exactly. Imagine, say, a mechanic wearing AR glasses. The repair instructions, specific video overlays for that engine model, could be generated instantaneously based on what the device's camera is seeing in the environment. Real-time, local generation.
That's powerful. And the second trend you mentioned, agentic workflows. That sounds transformative.
It really is. The idea is that the interface is shifting away from simple text prompting, where you describe the scene, towards autonomous goal execution.
So instead of painstakingly specifying every camera movement and style choice, you basically give the AI a business objective.
Precisely that.
Yeah.
A marketing executive won't necessarily tell the AI generate a tracking shot following the product.
Yeah.
They might instruct an AI agent create a 15-second TikTok campaign emphasizing sustainability for our new product line, target millennials in these 3 major cities, and optimize the output for the highest possible click-through rate.
Okay.
And the agent then autonomously manages the whole process, the creative concepting, generating the variants using systems like Veo 3.1, conducting the A/B testing, maybe even handling the distribution pipeline, all to optimize for that stated business goal.
That significantly raises the stakes for creative leadership, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The competitive advantage won't just belong to organizations who can push the generate button. It seems it will belong to those who cultivate talent skilled at defining those strategic goals and really mastering the intersection of creative direction and AI technology.
Right, so to wrap up this deep dive then, Veo 3.1 is clearly democratizing high-fidelity video production. It's offering unprecedented speed and personalization, but this power demands proactive governance and strategic change management to really succeed, both internally for efficiency and externally ethically.
Absolutely. And the final provocative thought maybe we can leave you with is this. The ultimate challenge for enterprises isn't really whether AI can create a perfectly realistic video. We're seeing it can. It's whether organizations can successfully use this capability to augment human creativity and tell stories that hold unique brand value. Stories that don't feel empty in a world increasingly saturated with easily generated content. That's the real strategic hurdle.
Thank you for joining the podcast, and see you soon.